In 1692, a small American village began the systematic execution of its own residents. Despite the legends, no magic or witchcraft actually existed in Salem. This tragedy was a legal massacre of innocent people, driven by a government that turned paranoia into a weapon. Neighbors betrayed neighbors, and parents testified against their own children. A devout religious society dismantled its own legal protections and replaced them with the gallows. This is the anatomy of the Salem witch trials. Salem Village in 1691 was an isolated, highly stressed settlement on the edge of the known world. The winter was brutal, political charters were failing, and the threat of violent frontier conflict was constant. The Puritans lived with the conviction that the devil walked among them as a physical person, actively working to destroy their holy mission. This combination of isolation, trauma, and religious conviction turned the village into a psychological pressure cooker. It required only a single spark to explode. In January 1692, the minister's 9-year-old daughter and 11-year-old niece began screaming in agony and contorting their bodies into bizarre, unnatural shapes. Modern science suggests mass psychogenic illness or ergot poisoning from contaminated rye bread, but in 1692, the local doctor diagnosed witchcraft. Under intense pressure to name their tormentors, the girls targeted 3 marginalized women: Tituba, an enslaved woman; Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; and Sarah Osborne, an impoverished grandmother. These women lacked power and social standing. They were the easiest targets to blame for a community's collective fear. Paranoia escalated quickly, moving from the outcasts to the pillars of the town. Anyone who questioned the girls' behavior became a target themselves. 71-year-old Rebecca Nurse was a devout grandmother and a beloved community member. Her accusation shocked the village. During her trial, the court accepted spectral evidence, the claim that a person's invisible spirit was attacking a victim. In the Salem courtroom, the unprovable was accepted as legal proof. When a jury found Rebecca innocent, the judges forced them to reconsider. They used Rebecca's deafness against her, interpreting her inability to hear a trick question as a confession of guilt. The state-sanctioned execution of a grandmother proved that due process had vanished. No one in Salem was safe. By the end of summer, 19 people, mostly women, had been hanged at Gallows Hill. 81-year-old Giles Corey refused to enter a plea to the rigged court. To force a confession, authorities crushed him to death with stones over the course of 2 days. His final, defiant words were, "More weight." Hundreds more suffered in freezing jails, losing their homes and property to pay for their own imprisonment. The madness ended only when the girls accused the wife of the governor. The elites finally banned spectral evidence once the accusations reached the highest levels of power. Years later, the judges and accusers issued public apologies for the mass delusion they helped create. Salem remains a documented record of the breakdown of the rule of law under the weight of religious fanaticism and isolation. These trials reveal the capacity for ordinary people to destroy one another when fear replaces justice. If this look into one of history's darkest chapters was valuable to you, like the video and subscribe for more untold history.